Hi, I'm Will Johnson, president of Woodmaster Tools, and today we're going to talk about this machine, our 3700 37-inch super wide planer. Hopefully in that montage we just showed you, you got a sense of what the machine can do, and don't worry, we're going to do a lot more planing today. But first I kind of want to go through the machine, talk about some of its features, some of the things we like about it, and also a little bit about our company and how our equipment's made. To me, the most important thing about how this machine is made is right here. Made in USA. I don't know if people care about Made in USA anymore. I do, and of course it's confusing sometimes. We got Chevys made in Mexico, we got Toyotas made in Alabama, but Woodmaster machines are made right here in Kansas City, Missouri. The machining, the sheet metal, the assembly, made in Kansas City, made in USA. And I think that matters for a couple reasons. The first is that when you buy an American-made machine, you're supporting American jobs. We have comparable competitive machines that are made overseas. When you buy a competitor's machine made overseas, you're supporting jobs overseas. So part of keeping America great is supporting American manufacturing. And you can do that with your dollars. You can vote for America by buying American-made equipment. But the other big advantage of Made in America is service and parts. Okay, the guy who designed this machine is here in our office, and actually we're going to be operating it together today. So literally the person who brought this machine from a piece of paper to the reality you see in front of here is only a phone call away. I've got multiple people here who have operated this machine and do operate it frequently. So again, you've got a level of knowledge and service that's simply not available with overseas manufactured machines. When you've got a company with a thick catalog selling thousands of machines, they just don't have anybody who knows each of those machines. And the problem there is they don't have anybody who can really help you if you have an issue. They can send you to some online tutorial or they can tell you to read the manual, but they don't have anybody who can give you the help you need when you have a question or when you have potentially a problem with the machine. We build these machines right, we design them right. You shouldn't ever have a problem with the machine, but you're always, at some point, there's going to be some issue. That's just the nature of equipment, and I'd be a liar if I didn't say that. So the advantage there is parts availability. Because we build the machines here, we've got all these parts on the shelf available to you when you might need them. Hopefully you'll never have an issue with a motor, but we build these machines to last 20 or 30 years, so at some point you might. They're American-made motors, standard motors that you can buy anywhere here in the US or that you can get from us. But I mean, we've heard horror stories about overseas machines having a motor issue because frankly their motors aren't as good as ours, and then not being able to get a motor and shutting someone down. Again, Made in USA means you're supporting American jobs, you've got great service and knowledge and help on the other side of the phone line, and you've got awesome parts availability. Nobody else in this category can offer you the service and parts availability that we can. There's simply no comparison to Woodmaster. There's no comparison to Made in USA, and that's why we're your best choice. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the other machines and competitive machines that are available in this product category. This machine will do a 37-inch wide slab up to 8 inches thick. So there's two distinct kind of competitive categories for this machine. The first one is our friends overseas. Once we came out with this machine, suddenly they came out with a similar machine, similar width, similar capacities. Funny how that happens. But here's the thing. Number one, it's a foreign-made machine, and so our US-made machine has all the advantages I've already talked about. Secondly, at the time of this filming, that machine is actually more expensive. So that's the best of both worlds, when you can buy a US-made machine with US service, US parts availability, US warranties, and pay less. That's awesome. So that's a strong reason to buy this machine over the competitive machine made overseas. The other product category that kind of competes with this machine are these slab flatteners. So these are these great big machines that slowly flatten slabs in your shop. So there's a couple advantages to those slab flatteners. First of all, you don't have to handle the material much, which, as you'll see today, when you're working with these huge slabs, they can be a handful to move around. So that's an advantage of the slab flatteners. The problem with the slab flatteners, first of all, is they're slow. And second of all, they take up a huge amount of space in your shop. This machine takes up about 25 square feet. A slab flattener takes up about 65 square feet. And remember, this machine is also potentially going to replace other machines in your shop. We're going to talk a lot about doing big, wide stuff with this machine, but you can also do 12-inch material with this machine. So you can potentially replace the other planers in your shop and gain some space in your shop so that your amount of shop space you're using won't be that much. A slab flattener, slow, slow, slow. It's like watching paint dry. So this machine, more material handling, but much faster, and also takes up a lot less space in your shop. So we feel like the advantages of this machine over the slab flattener and the versatility of this machine over the slab flattener make it a better choice. So again, just a quick recap before we start actually running the thing, which I know is what you really want to see. Made in USA, again, to me it means everything. It means supporting American jobs, it means service, it means quality, it means parts on the shelf. And this machine gives you things that competitive machines don't give you. The overseas machines, number one, are made overseas. Number two, they cost more. Buying American in a case like that is a no-brainer. And the slab flatteners, they're good machines. They have certain advantages, but they're slow and they take up a huge amount of shop space. So we really think that the 3700 hits a sweet spot where you can do big, wide slabs and you can do smaller material quickly and with a real powerful Made in USA machine. Okay, so our first slab today, cut on a Timber King mill, 35-inch walnut, about 3 inches thick. It's got a cup in it. So we're going to start on this side and get that cup leveled out, and then we'll flip it over and do the other side. That's typically how you want to do it. Okay, so without further ado, let's plane some wood. Oh! All right, that gnarly slab turned into something truly beautiful. I don't know if I mentioned this, so this was cut on a Timber King sawmill, and it's by a local partner who owns a Timber King mill and actually does urban logging. So this is a tree from locally here in Kansas City, big walnut slab, but that's gonna make him a beautiful table. I know he's gonna be pleased with it and be able to sell it to a customer for, I'm sure, quite a pretty penny. So,
couple things. This slab started out just a little bit under 2 inches. We had to take about 1 inch off to get it completely exposed.
Because it had such a cut in it.
A lot of people will say, oh, my sawmill cuts straight, and it does. But when wood goes through a drying process, it shrinks and contracts. It's homogeneous, that's what it does. And so you get high and low valleys. This customer just wanted his grain exposed. He wanted to keep as much thickness as possible. So here he can kind of hit on a sand or whatever he wants, but this went down to 1 3/4. We took a little over 1 inch off each side. Does a good job. That was taking a 1/16 off per pass at 20 feet a minute.
Okay, so the last board had a cup in it. We took about a total of 1 inch off. Also interesting to note how little dust there is around. That's a aluminum, cast aluminum Woodmaster dust collector that's pulling this dust and doing a great job. This is also a walnut piece. It's longer. It's heavier, so we're gonna have some extra help on this one. Not as cupped, and it's about 33 inches wide. And Barry, what was our feed speed? You said it was 20 feet per minute on the last board.
I was taking a 16th per pass at 20 feet a minute.
16th per pass at 20 feet per minute. And on that one, it was across 35 inches.
Right, yeah.
So this one, we won't be doing quite as wide. We're doing longer. But anyway, let's start planing. Wow. Okay, so that's a cool board, beautiful board. I don't know, what was that, 5 passes?
Yeah, this one here started a little under 3 inches and it came out about 2 11/16. So this board was a lot flatter than the previous one. The first pass on this side, I cleared 90% of the board.
Yeah, it was all, I mean, it was
That's why I went ahead
done.
and flipped it and started the other side because it was already flat. So this
Yeah.
piece here, ideally this is what you're going to get off your sawmill and it goes through a kiln. You really should get it. The flatter you get it, the better it's going to plane and the easier it's going to be.
Yeah, but that was really cool and a beautiful board. And I mean, one thing to think about too, this is not an inexpensive machine. The 3700 is not an inexpensive machine, but you got to think about what we just made and what the value of this is, especially if it's sold as a raw board or made into a piece of furniture. I mean, the 2 boards we've done today would take a big chunk out of the price of this machine. So that's something I think to consider. Let's put some water on this and look at the grain. It'd be kind of fun. There's some real nice figure over here.
Look at that. That marbling is just beautiful.
And again, no tear out. We've got the spiral head, so we don't, look at that.
Plus, you're going to run this through a sander to finish it up, so it's going to make it even better.
Yeah, look at that figure. Wow. Actually, the most miraculous thing you guys have seen today, people around here who work with me around here will tell you that as amazing as this machine is and as beautiful as this wood is, the most amazing thing you've seen today is me actually doing some work, which is a very rare sight around here.
Sorry.
And it's recorded for posterity, so if anybody ever talks to me about how I'm not doing any work, I can go to YouTube and say, no, look at this video, I once did some work. Anyway, model 3700, you guys, again, to go back, made in USA, and yet is less expensive at this point than foreign-made competitors. Made in USA also means knowledgeable people, knowledgeable service. In that video we just shot, that section of video, you had Barry who designed this machine, you had Miles who actually runs the production area of the machine. They know every nut and bolt on this machine. And that's a level of knowledge, a level of service that you cannot get from thick catalog companies that are selling 3,000 different machines. This is the Woodmaster Advantage. It's an advantage of working with us. And it's an advantage of buying American is that you have knowledgeable hands-on people for planing wide pieces, wide stuff, whether it's glue ups, big slabs, or again, small stuff. Remember, this machine can do small stuff and it can replace other machines in your shop. There's really no better choice than Woodmaster, the 3700, made in USA, tough as nails, and really gonna be a moneymaker for you if you consider the value of these 2 slabs. These were actually city trees, throwaway trees that were gonna be ground up, and now you've got 2 slabs that are worth, probably close to, if not over $1,000. So thanks for watching. Give us a call or shoot us an email if you have more questions or would like to get a quote on a 3700. Thanks.